YouTubers. Today I want to show you two of my favorite foods. Marmite and Vegemite. Now, a lot of you Americans probably aren't familiar with what these are, but in good old England, everyone knows what Marmite is. And this is the Australian version. Now, you know, there's a little competition about which is better. So I'm just going to tell you about them, and well, you can decide for yourself. Now, being British at heart, I probably should pick the Marmite. So, now, what this is, what both of them are extracts from or byproducts from the beer making process. Now, you know beer is made with yeast. So therefore, these are yeast extracts, and they're very high in B vitamins. As a matter of fact, they used to give Marmite to the British sailors during the war to help keep them nourished. Anyhow, what you do is you spread this really fine on toast. And it's very salty, so you got to make sure you spread it very thin. Now, not everyone in England likes Marmite. They actually have a website, and it's kind of like a love it or hate it type thing, and you vote. But the people who do love it, which is probably most of them, British expatriates say this is like the #1 thing they miss from their homeland is Marmite. Anyhow, and then Vegemite, that's the Australian version. It basically tastes the same. My sister was nice enough to get me both of these for Christmas because she knows I love them. Where she lives at, which is a very large city, they have a store called World Imports. I think it goes by another name too, but I can't think of what it is. So, you know, she's good enough to pick these up for me. There's a very slight taste difference, but the texture is even more different. Marmite to me is a little bit more thinner, spreads, I don't know, I wouldn't say quite like applesauce. We do have one other thing here. We have pourable Marmite. Now, I have a little bit left in this jar. This is even thinner than the one comes out of here. I prefer in the little jar rather than the pourable one. But yeah, this has a slightly more texture like applesauce. You know, it spreads easier. This is a little bit more like peanut butter. It's thicker. So what I like to do is I like to leave the Marmite here at home, and that way I can have it here for breakfast. And I take the Vegemite with me in my lunchbox to work, and that way I can dip into it throughout the day. Boy, I just love that stuff. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make some toast and put the Marmite on there. This is what we got for making toast today. New York soft rye. You'll almost never find that I have white bread in the house. When I do, it's a real hearty country type white, because I don't like white bread. It's like eating styrofoam or something. It's not really healthy for you. So anyhow, we're going to toast that up. And I said that being British at heart, I, you know, should have a little bit more dedication to Marmite. But I do have a couple of friends from Australia, and I have to give credit where credit is due. Now, also, you remember that song by Men at Work called Land Down Under? They mentioned Vegemite in here, remember that?
Buying bread from a man in Brussels. He was 6'4" and full of muscle. I said, do you speak my language? He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich.
And maybe some of you didn't realize what they meant or didn't even think about it, but that's what this is. So, and it's made by Kraft. And both Marmite and Vegemite are suitable for vegetarians. They're an excellent source of B vitamins. Okay, now our toast is about done here. So, what most people like to do is first, they put a little butter on here. And then, they spread the Marmite on really thin. Now, like I said, this is extremely salty, so you gotta make sure you put it on really thin. Some first-timers, they don't know that. They put it on thick like peanut butter or jelly and bite into it and get the shock of their lives, and they never want to try it again. So, don't do that. Be discreet. You know, at the apartment where I lived in Abilene, I noticed my Marmite kept disappearing, it seemed like, in the jar. You know, I would think it was at a certain level, and I'd come back later on and be lower, and I don't remember having eaten it. And Jimmy Pop doesn't really care for it. I don't know, but I always had a hunch that my maintenance man used to come in while I was at work and dip into it. I could be wrong. But anyhow, there you go. Mmm.